All right. Break time is over. Back to work. Fantastic job today. Sell those bull traps off the high, buy those bear traps off the low. Fantastic job today. We got one more day left this week, and we got some great charts in front of us right now. I have this beautiful bull flag on the S&P 500. Bull flags are pretty easy. We'll talk about that in a lot of detail tonight. And we got these two ranges on top of each other right now on the NASDAQ. Two ranges. That makes our game plan pretty simple for Friday morning. As always, I'm going to cover all my favorite trades in the video tonight. By the time we're done, you'll have an easy roadmap to make some money tomorrow as well. Now, before we jump in and talk my favorite trades for finally Friday, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss tomorrow night's video, so make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy these videos, if you like these lessons, hit that like button for me, will ya? Give me a shout out down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in, supporting the channel. Man, oh man, what a fantastic day. Been a great week. Let's finish up tomorrow with some more green here. Boy, charts are all locked and loaded for tonight. NASDAQ triple Qs are ready. The E-mini and the SPY is ready. I have four very important clues on these charts that are telling us where the winning trades are waiting for tomorrow. One of those important clues is right here on these 60-minute time frames. We are bullish overall on the S&P and SPY, bullish overall on the NASDAQ and the triple Qs. An interesting fact on the NASDAQ right now, we had that range breakout with the non-farm payrolls last week. We are 1, 2, 3 legs up. If you guys are in my free video class right now, you know that trends like to move in threes. So we're bullish, but definitely see some possible resistance overhead here on the NASDAQ. Most important thing though is I like to use these hourly time frames to give us the best overall direction. What this doesn't give me though is it doesn't give me levels of support and resistance. It doesn't help me time the best entries for tomorrow. We'll talk about, I have 3 more important clues on some faster time frames, some tick charts that will help us pull this all together, tie it all together, and give us the perfect entries to finish up the week with some green tomorrow. Now, before we jump in and talk entries on the faster time frames though, let's check our schedule for tomorrow because tomorrow's a Friday. Now, 2 things on my radar for tomorrow. One is that consumer sentiment number, 10 o'clock Eastern time. You'll want to be paying attention with 10 o'clock news on a Friday morning. But also, too, tomorrow is a Friday morning. Now, let's talk about Fridays. I have what's called the Friday mindset. The Friday mindset says, I want to get in early when the markets are good and I'm at my best. I want to take profit early, remove risk early. But one thing about Fridays, they love to run. They get it liquid in the afternoons. So always early in, get rid of risk early, take some profit early, but promise me, leave a runner on Friday afternoons. Not every Friday, but 3 out of 5 Fridays though, you're going to get that big runner. And I'll tell you, that thing can make your entire month catch that big runner on a Friday morning. So again, consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Better be ready for that one. And Friday mindset, right? Early in, take some profit early, remove risk early, but don't cut those trades loose too early because again, Fridays, they love to run. Back to our charts here. It's good to know when the news is. It's good to know the right mindset for tomorrow, but the money is made on these charts. I mentioned earlier, I like to use these hourly time frames, 60-minute charts, to give us the best overall direction right now, but it only goes so far, right? Let's talk about entry tactics now on some tick charts. Tick charts make pattern recognition so much easier. This, by the way, is a 7,000 tick chart linked up there in the upper left-hand corner. And if you're watching for the first time right now, welcome to the channel. This little yellow line right there, that is the 21 EMA. It's pretty much the only indicator we need to find lots of winning trades each week. There are 3 more important clues on this tick chart right now. First one is big run up into this bull flag. Now, bull flags are a pretty simple idea, right? Bull flags are rotating off the highs and the lows. The reason why bull flags exist is because buyers are trying to buy low, right? We have to assume now this bull flag will want to rotate back down where buyers will keep coming in and buyers are simply trying to buy the dips right now. That's what creates a bull flag. That's one clue on the tick charts right now. But I think the most important clue here is this trading range right there. In my trade room, we call these directional ranges. There's a bear market down into a trading range. Now, in the free video course, we talk about ranges and range rotation, right? The amount above the range projects down below the range. Ranges love to rotate. So this range below us is a magnet right now. It will try to rotate and drag this thing all the way down and take out that, 53.96 area down below, which we assume, because this bull flag, will be a great spot to be a buyer. The one kind of wild card on this, the one variable we have right now is this little tiny range right here. We'll talk about this a bit later on in the lesson tonight, but if this one begins to hold overnight, this really changes the game. If this goes sideways overnight, we stick inside that range right there, that gives the buyers a lot more credibility, and we'll talk about how to play off of that in a moment. So put these clues together. It's a bear channel, but it's called a bull flag, right? Big move up. It's called a bull flag overall, and that range below us. What I would love to do, one of my favorite trades here for tomorrow is I'd love to go up into areas of resistance here. I would love to trap in some buyers and use a bull trap up here, like a crown reversal pattern. One of my favorite bull trap patterns is called a crown reversal. It's basically buyers once, buyers twice. It wraps together the failure pattern you guys learn in the free video course along with a bull trap pattern. This is not a good place to be buying. The range below us is a magnet, top of that bull flag. So if I can get the buyers, I assume these rookie buyers, trying once, trying twice, I'll bet their stops are sitting right there. And if you're caught long in this situation, you get stopped out, you're selling your way out right there. So I'm looking for my favorite bull trap patterns called a crown reversal. One try, two try, lower low in price, strong signal candle closing below that 21 EMA. That's one pattern like off the high there. Another one too, we may get a V top off that high. V tops are very easy to trade because once you see that kind of V top off the high there, look for the market now grinding down. I know you guys love these patterns, right? So market trend line off that low, watch closely, bring it up around that high. And as always, look left, find one of these prior swings. And you want to get, most important thing is you want to get that first test off the high of that channel. This could be a bull trap pattern like I'm showing you right here, right above a prior swing. Oftentimes these go above the 21 moving average. That's where failure patterns live, right? Failure patterns turn into pullback combination patterns as we make our way back down, rotating off the high of that trading range. So I like the idea of some bull traps up there, a V top like I'm showing you here, or that crown reversal off of the high. Make sure, remember too, you want that first test right off the high of that channel. And of course, if I'm wrong about that, right, if we were to get a real strong breakout going higher, I would then look for a breakout pullback, which is basically a two-legged pullback back around that high, get a failure pattern into a pullback combination going higher. This seems a bit unrealistic right now. Again, strong run up, two-legged pullback. We've talked a lot about these so far this week already, earlier on in the week here this week. So I'm not going to go over more of that right now. But if we were to go, again, nice strong run higher, two-legged pullback, that'd be a failure pattern right there, failure pattern into a pullback combination as they make their run going higher. My favorite trade though is going up is that bull trap right off of that high. Now, one more scenario here. If we were to roll over here right now and not get that run up, how would you sell this thing as it goes lower? It will always be a bull trap pattern. It'll be a lower low in price. It'll be a trap just like this is one right there, right? They run lower, shallow pullback, lower low in price. See how everybody likes to short those bull traps as it rotates off the high. That's the pattern I'm looking for. If we do end up rolling off of it, again, it'll be a lower low in price and a little signal candle there off that high. In the free video course, we call these bull trap patterns. Where the real money is made tomorrow, probably though, is down around these areas, right? If we do end up all the way down at that low here, this is where, again, we kind of anticipate these bears are trying to get to. Now we're in territory where we're nice and low now in overall bull market. I would love to use that failure. Now, what's a failure? Failure basically means I'm not going to pick the bottom on this, right? We're not going to blindly buy off that area. What I'll do is I'll wait for the price to pull back to that 21 EMA, let those bears try once, let those bears try twice. Why twice? Because then I know where their stops are, right? Because if it rolls off this high, that will be a lot of bearish momentum. Even though we're overall bullish, I still have to respect that bear momentum. 1, 2, use our stops to fuel that run going higher. Remember, this range above us will want to rotate back and forth like this, right? That's how ranges work. They love to rotate. So as it goes higher here, look for that failure into that bear trap combination going higher, right? And a lot of you guys love this combo, right? That failure against to try failure into a trap pattern. Great example today in the trade room, right? Running lower, bears once, bears twice. There's that failure pattern right there. And then look right here, right? Look right there. It was a beautiful one this afternoon. Pop up, shallow pullback, higher high. And of course, that was that trap combination. So some great examples of that this afternoon. A lot of you guys made some money on that in our trade room as it rotated off of that low. So failure in a trap pattern combination. Let's slow down for a second because I've covered a lot of these entry patterns so far in this video. I know most of you guys know these patterns already. You know why we love failures, trap patterns, range rotation. But if you're watching for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language for you. Don't you worry, I teach all these setups. I have hundreds of examples of failures, traps, and a hell of a lot more. I cover it all in our free video classes. I'll put a link up top for you, upper right-hand corner. Don't you worry, I'll hook you up. Grab that link that popped up there and take that free trading course because the strategy I teach in that short video series will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room so we always know where the best winning trades are going to be each day. And most importantly, I want to help you start making money on your own. I'll teach you 4 my favorite entry patterns. You'll learn failures, traps, pullback combinations, strength trades. The entire roadmap is taught in that free video series. Hit that link that popped up there. Take that free course. Guys, the markets are way too good right now not to be making consistent money. If you're tired of missing the best trades each day, if you're struggling to qualify for a funded account at Apex or Top Step, hit that link up top there. Take that free course. Perfect for someone trying to make the jump into full-time trading. And also to keep in mind too, I'm going to put all the important links tonight in the description of the YouTube video. I'll put the free class links down there. Definitely start there first. Learn the roadmap. Start making money on those on your own. Also too, we trade together every morning in our trade room. I'll put my trade room membership links down there for you in the description as well. And boy, I post a lot of updates on Twitter or X as they call it these days. If you're on Twitter or X, give me a follow. Again, all the details, description of that YouTube video. But that will be some of my favorite trades here, right? If we go up with that bull trap off the high, running lower, that failure into that bear trap, running back down again. Now, let's talk about a couple more variations, and then later on, we'll go to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has 2 ranges put together. So one thing I always look for whenever we get those runs down, I always look for that double bottom retest, right? These are very common in an overall bull market that has to pull back nice and low to attract in more buyers. So I would love to get that run down, right? Trap those bears in with that failure pattern. Oftentimes, though, what happens is when there's a range involved, it'll pop up, it'll hold the underbelly of the range. As I mentioned last night in the video, you always want to take profit at the underbelly or the edges of these ranges because they make for excellent levels of support and resistance. So oftentimes we'll get that failure pattern off that low. We'll take our profit right at the underbelly of that range, but because that move down is so strong, it'll roll over and retest that low. Now, as I joked around last night by saying, these are not a reversal. These are a gift from the trading gods because anybody who sells short up here, they're not taking their profit back down at those lows. So sellers who come in right here, they become buyers now when they go back to retest low. Again, this is not a reversal for the bear. It's simply a retest of that low. Let's do it again, right? Do it again. This is oftentimes the most lucrative trade of the session because now everybody gets trapped in. Now the rookies come in. They think this is a reversal. Let them try twice. Use that failure pattern we love so much. Failure pattern into, what was it again? That bear trap pattern as we make our run going higher here, right? Bear trap, back up where? Back up into that trading range up overhead. It's an overall bull market, right? We're trying to pull back though deep enough. So let it pull back. Don't pick the bottom. Trap in those bears, squeeze those stops. And again, if it rolls over and retest that low, do it again. Two try failure into that bear trap combination. It's a higher high in price, a trap right below that low. Now, one more variation on this. Sometimes we get that run down. We may easily get that bull trap off the high, right? And that short back down again. But there may be so many buyers up here, it may just simply V bottom and smack right back up into that trading range. These can be difficult because we don't get the chance there to trap in those bears, right? We don't get that chance to trap the bears in like this afternoon, right? We don't get that chance sometimes. So if we don't, if it V bottoms off of that low, watch for that grinder going higher. Remember, when it V bottoms like this, we do not want to chase after it. Promise me, do not chase after those moves like that. Draw a trend line off the highs, bring it down to that low. And as we always say, you want the first test off that channel. So look left, find some prior swings. I want a bear trap pattern below that prior swing. I want to get underneath the moving average. That's where failure patterns live. Failures into pullback combinations. Again, if you're watching for the first time right now, this might be a brand new language for you. But again, hit that link up top there or down in the description. That free video course will give you all the terminology and you'll be trading these in no time at all here, right? So the key is if we don't get that bear trap entry down to the buy back up again, if it V bottoms off that low, promise me do not chase after it. Your patience be rewarded on that first test. Could be a bear trap pattern, a failure pattern, a pullback combo. And again, it wants to rotate back up. Leave that runner. Tomorrow's a Friday, right? Don't be cutting those winners too early on a Friday afternoon. Now, one last thing here now, we've got the NASDAQ here in a moment, is this trading range. If we do end up running sideways here overnight and sticking around in this trading range, we now, again, like I said earlier, that gives the buyers a lot more credibility right now because that range will act like a magnet, right? So the most recent range is always the range that acts like a magnet. So if that's the case now, this range below us starts acting as a breakout pullback, right? Makes sense? Anytime we have a range breakout, markets love to pull back and break out pullback of that previous trading range. The most important thing about ranges is they love to rotate the amount below, the amount above. So if we understand that basic principle, what I'll do is I'll wait for, and again, this is all assuming they hold this range and start going sideways overnight. That's the assumption we're in right now. If that is the case, we then wait for that breakdown. We get down into that trading range, support below the range. We don't pick the bottom, do we? No, we don't. We wait for the price to pull back. We trap those bears in, use that failure into that, what was it again? That bear trap combination. This will become second nature to you. Don't you worry. Make sure you grab that free course, learn the setups, right? But again, failure pattern, don't pick that bottom, grab that bear trap combo and leave the runner because where's it want to go? It wants to rotate now back in the opposite direction. Okay, easy trades there. Leave that runner, right? Leave that runner for a Friday afternoon. Now, the hard part on this, that's the easy one, right? The hard part here is if we go sideways here overnight, keep in mind of the fake out breakout. We oftentimes see ranges like this. We go up. This is not a breakout yet, okay? How do we know when it becomes a breakout? We know it becomes a breakout once they break out, pull back, and jump off that moving average. That's why that's not a breakout. That's not a breakout. None of these are breakouts, right? They have to get above that range, hold that pullback, and jump. We call these 1, 2, 3 moves in our video classes. This one's called a 1, 2, 3 breakout. Okay, so unless they get that strong jump going higher, and again, I'm not going to have time tonight to go over the whole entire game plan for a breakout pullback or going higher. But if you've been here watching the rest of the videos this week, we've covered those quite a bit so far in these videos so far this week. What I'd like to do though is if we get that trading range going sideways here, go up and grab one of those bull traps, right? Grab that crown reversal. It's that lower low in price and that bull trap above that high. Again, think about where that runner would be, other side of that trading range. Or oftentimes it goes up, oftentimes it goes up. We get that pop up, that V top off the high, grind it right on down again, find that low trend line, find that channel off the high, look left, mark those prior swings, and whatever you do, don't miss that first test off the high of that channel. Again, these kind of V tops are challenging because it feels like you're going to miss the entry, right? So don't chase after it. Wait for that first test. Again, could be a bull trap, a buyer failure pattern, any of the entry patterns you guys are learning inside the free video course off that high. Think about now that pendulum swing going down again, right? There's your pendulum. There is your target. And then what do you do down here? You take your profit. Do you blindly buy down there? Of course not. We don't blindly buy or sell anything. We wait for the price to pull back 1, 2, and again, that same failure in a trap pattern, that failure in a trap pattern as we trade that rotation back and forth there. So there are some of my favorite trades here on the S&P. As you can see, a lot of them are these bull traps off the high and then trapping bears in underneath the low, keep buying low, keep selling high. And again, I know I'm going over a lot right now, but that free video course will give you a much easier roadmap. That way most of the stuff will, this stuff will start making more sense to you once you're in that free video series. All right, guys, that's the S&P here for tomorrow. Over on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is interesting right now. I mentioned earlier, we're definitely bullish. Got that range right there. And again, most of the time, 3 legs up. That's about as far as we go. That might, we'll see how much that impacts us here for tomorrow. But something interesting I'm watching there on the NASDAQ right now. Over on the tick charts, I mentioned earlier, we got 2 ranges right now on the tick charts. There's a bullish range right there. And if we understand how ranges work, ranges love to rotate, right? So they're rotating down, back up. That gives us the amount below, the amount above there. That's a key level of resistance up overhead. But you know, recency is most important. The most recent range is this bearish move into that range. And of course, that one now rotating, it's going to want to rotate back and forth like that, much like the S&P has that bear range. One interesting part about multiple ranges, kind of double barrel ranges like this, oftentimes this creates one big range. And if this is one big range right now, obviously trading that rotation back and forth, right? So bull traps off the high, seller failures off of that low. So that's kind of in a nutshell what the what the NASDAQ wants. We're bullish overall. It's very difficult to justify being a buyer up here right now on the NASDAQ. Not only are we 3 big legs up on the 60-minute time frame, but again, it's very easy to see that pendulum up there. It's very difficult to want to buy this thing into the high here. I would love to trap in some rookies though and get that crown reversal pattern, that lower low in price, that bull trap signal off the high like that. I love the idea, of course, of that V top, that pop up, whack back down, right? Get that thing grinding down. Always love those V top reversals. Those are usually pretty easy to trade once you can learn how they work. And of course, if we do end up rolling over here, this is where that same sequence comes in. We talked about earlier on the S&P, right? If we can get that run going lower, we're not going to pick the bottom on that, right? This is exactly what we look for, those failure into trap combinations. A failure pattern is simply 1 try, 2 try, lock up those bears, trap in those bears, run those stops for that run back up. Again, this will want to rotate back and forth like this. As it makes its way back up into that trading range, it's always going to be a bear trap combination. Bear traps are higher highs in price. I move right below that low. A lot of examples of these failure trap combinations inside of the free video course. And as mentioned earlier, you always want to take some profit off at the underbelly of those ranges, because oftentimes we'll get that run down, we'll get those bears trapped in, we'll get our winner on the run up. It holds the underbelly, they go back and retest that low. And again, this is not a bearish reversal. It's simply the bears retesting that low because of the strength of momentum going lower. Do it again, right? Do it again. Another bite at the apple here. Bears try once, bears try twice, same thing over and over. You know, people often ask me, why don't we look for different setups every evening? But guys, once you learn what works, why would you change it? Once you find the golden goose, right, it keeps on laying eggs. So I will keep on milking that thing as long as these keep working. These work great in our trade room. Failure into those bull trap, or excuse me, in this case, a bear trap pattern combination going higher off of that low. Again, these double bottoms, promise me, leave that runner if we can grab that double bottom reversal off of that low, because these oftentimes everybody who's sold right there, right, they take their profit right here. These rookies get trapped in. The bears got their retest, what they wanted. These oftentimes are free to roll, right, as it runs, right? It runs down, they retest. Bears once, bears twice, right? That double bottom, right? Not the exact double bottom. It can go through that low a little bit, right? But once they retest the low, they'll trap those bears in. That's pretty much exactly what happened today on the NASDAQ as well, right? Double bottom reversals, double bottom retests inside overall bull market. One of my favorite trades here in these bull markets. And of course, the last one here is that V bottom, right? That V bottom. Again, I would love to run down, trap the bears in and back up again, but hey, there may be so many buyers down there, it may just get caught and just whoop right back up again and begin grinding back up. Again, the grinder is the giveaway. The sooner you learn these grinders, the better off you'll be. Once it kind of V bottoms off that low and starts grinding higher like that, again, this will kind of separate off that 21 EMA. That grinder is very, very obvious giveaway. Mark off that high, and then pin it down to that low. And again, what you want is you want to get just underneath. These are my favorite, at least. You want to get just underneath one of those prior swings. That's where bear traps live. Under the moving average is where failure patterns live. Failures into pullback combinations and run back up from there. Remember, the amount would go below the range, I'm gonna go above the range, leave that runner on a Friday afternoon. All right, guys, that is the game plan for tomorrow. A lot of bull traps off the low, off the highs, a lot of bear traps off the low. Keep trading that rotation. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow morning, every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the game plan is set. But guys, the easiest way to start making money in these markets, come out every morning, learn it along with me, trade along with us every morning in our trade room. Every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put all the important links tonight, the free class links, the trade room membership links, my Twitter feed stuff. If you're here for the first time, start first on the free video course. Again, that will give you the roadmap you need. Start making money on your own, start making better trading decisions. And don't forget, any questions, any challenge, any trouble getting access to our video classes, you can use live chat. Call the office. We'll always be here to help out every step of the process. Right, guys? A fantastic week so far. Let's finish up tomorrow with some more green in the trade room. And as always, in the meantime, be well, be nice to each other out there, make some money tomorrow, and we'll see you guys next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.